Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Happy time zone. Hello, Sarah. Hello, Joe. Hello, Mikey. Hello, Meow. Mikey, thanks for the resub. 5 months. Thanks for the 5-month streak, which reminds me, I really need to make those sub badges that would keep growing with each month. So many of you have been so kind to continue subscribing. So I gotta do that at some point. One of many things. Anyways, let me know how the sound is, how the balance of sound is. I feel like maybe I could turn the music down a little bit. Hey Tom, welcome in. Yeah, finishing the work. Gotta finish the work. Boy, do I understand how that goes right now. Let's move the camera a little closer to me. There we go. Oh, thanks, Mikey. Yeah, I was very overdue for a haircut. And it is a haircut. I cut a lot off. This is about as short as I usually get it when I get a haircut. I just hadn't gotten one in a while, and my previous haircut had not been with my same barber because he got sick the morning of our appointment. And I didn't have any other time that I could reschedule for, so I saw a different person at the barber shop who was great, but just like didn't quite know, like how to do it how I wanted. And then I just let it grow too much. So it's been a while since it has looked like this. I also feel like my hair always looks slightly different from haircut to haircut because I continue to like have a little bit of receding hair at my temples, and so it like slightly shapes different every time. And I just have that kind of like really fine, like thinnish fine hair. I have a lot of hair, but each strand is very thin and fine. So it just always looks different. It doesn't stay in place. But anyways, welcome in, folks. Sorry for that little bit of a late start. I was just about to hit like start streaming, and I got a call from my landlord, which is like, you don't ignore those calls. And it was a call I'd been waiting on. And it's like good, but slightly stressed me out. And I was already kind of stressed out before that call. So, that means I'm happy to be here and try to chill out with all of you. How are all of you doing tonight? What have you brought to work on tonight? What are you eating for dinner? What's going on with all of you? And as you tell me, I'm going to get started on the spool shelf, which I'll just put in the chat if any new folks happen to be here right at the start here. But so Mikey already resubscribed, so we're gonna do a little stitch for that. But then I also noticed, so first of all, Joe kind of resubscribed essentially last week, and I missed that because it was like a from Prime to Tier 1 thing. So I want to do a second stitch for that. And then I'm just like looking at the activity feed. I somehow missed that someone or someones did gift subs during the hype train last week, which thank you, that's so cool. But I missed that, so I feel like we should get three more for that as well. So we're gonna do 5 sub stitches, which is really gonna help add to the shelf. So for subs, resubs, and I have now decided gift subs because I think that might have been maybe the first time I got gift subs. That might not be totally right, but subscribing for the first time, resubbing, gift subbing gets 1 stitch to help create the shelf that the spools stay on. And we're starting with those this week, in part because, like I said, some of these are making up from last week, but also because that's just what the needle was already on. So stitching, that's why I'm stitching that. I feel like I can move this even closer to her. Maybe I scoot in a little bit. Let's see. Does that still work? Yeah, that still kind of works. There we go. Oh no, Joe! Can you gift them to yourself? Well, all right. You're getting the credit for all of the subs, no matter where they went, anyways. But yeah, if you have a way to like look into that and get it organized the way you want it organized or something like that. Oh, okay, yeah, Meow, I was like, as I said that, I started realizing that I was maybe wrong about that. and that there was some frenzy of gift subs when I first got affiliate last year. So you're right. Was I at just 2 over here? I think so. So this is 3. And I said we were going to do 5, which seems to be maybe accurate, maybe not, but that's what we're doing anyways. We're doing 5 little stitches here. That I think are fully from Mikey and Joe, and that's great. Thank you so much for that. 1, 2, 3, 4, one more. And we'll just, it's going to be a shelf just for this one little spool. Oh, Joe, that's very strange. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, check back tomorrow. As you know, I know next to nothing about Twitch still, so I will probably not be of any help with that. Okay, just gonna try to secure this somewhere. Maybe under the waffle. You just hang out there. Cool. And then I've got a piece of floss back here. And happy to be out from Amazon's yoke. Yeah, it's unfortunate that they own Twitch. I mean, obviously nice in some ways, being able to have like that one sub per month from Prime is nice. I have not renewed my Prime membership yet this year, and I'm trying not to. I'm sort of like experimenting with, can I live without it? Which so far has not been that difficult, so I probably will not renew it, but I have felt some kind of irony or something about being like, yeah, I'm divesting from Amazon by not having a Prime membership, and then I'm like, but I'm doing all this Twitch stuff now. So I'm kind of more entrenched in Amazon in a way. I don't know. Am I taking money from them now? No, I'm definitely making them money. I'm like, you know, in a larger sense, bringing people to their platform in the same way that like I make Google money by making YouTube videos. But yeah. Life under capitalism. Okay, so gonna do the spool for today. We're back to the red. We're back to the DMC 817. I got I think 3 followers since the start of last stream, which is very fun and exciting. We just like bumped up 2 levels last time because I actually did a good job of promoting the fact that I do Stitch streams for once. And I've been too busy to do the same level of promo this past week. I barely even got anything out about the fact that I was doing the stream tonight, but luckily all of you who show up every Monday night know that I pretty much do it every Monday night. I will have a few Mondays this spring that I will be unable to do a Monday stream. I do not remember them off the top of my head. They are not imminent. Excuse me. But yeah, there will be some of those, but like I said, I want to try to maybe do some other ones. I've been kind of planning when and what I might do for those. But yeah, that's where we're at now. When a company buys so much, it's hard to have connections with people outside your physical area while avoiding them completely. That is such a true and sad thing. Yeah. Oh, and Meow has a little bit of possible advice for Joe about the Twitch not letting Joe resubscribe there. So check that out. As usual, all of you are so helpful both to each other and to me in figuring Twitch out. I also feel like from week to week, especially like once the stream ends, I have all of these ideas of things I want to do, and then like throughout the week as I watch other Twitch streamers, I'm like, here are all these ways that I want to improve like my streams and my channel, and then it's just so hard to find the time to do those things. That is the biggest thing that I'm feeling today, is just wishing there was more time. I've wished that my entire life for everything. And I think an intersecting issue that I have is that I'm someone who needs sleep, as all humans do, even if some don't like to admit it. But I think I like really need sleep and really need rest, and I really need like decompression time. And so I just can't do the grind as much as some people do. And if I had more time, or if I needed less sleep, it would be a little bit easier to do all of the things that I wish I could do. I wish that I had, like, all day. Hey, Melby! Thanks for the resub, and welcome in. Thanks so much. Okay, that's pretty actually great timing, because I just finished this part of the spool. I don't know if you were here earlier. We just added a bunch to the subscriber shelf. But let me get this floss back out, and we'll do one more stitch there. Thanks so much for the resub, and for being here for the last 5 months, as I have been figuring out Twitch. And Joe, I see your question about how much do I normally sleep? That is such an evolving and ever-changing thing. Basically because I have had so many different kinds of jobs. I like had periods of time where I was traveling a lot. Oh, and here just to announce it. So here's Melby's. Oh no, I undid a stitch. I'm doing Melby Toast's subscription stitch right here. Thank you so much for the 5 months and helping build the shelf that keeps us all up, which is both literal in a sense of the design and figurative in a sense of helping keep us all up. It's a metaphor for how you're supporting the channel and the community by being a subscriber. Great. But yeah, so I've had periods of time where I have traveled a lot, and then that just constantly messes with your sleep schedule. And then I was also like a late night performer for a while, where, you know, the show would end after midnight, cleanup would be done by like 1 a.m. Sometimes you're going out with people afterwards, you're getting home. On occasion, I got home at like 4 a.m. Usually I'd be home in like the 2 a.m. hour, 1 to 2. And I sometimes would still try to get up by like 7 or 8 because I had other work that I was doing, because that wasn't like a full-time gig. It paid more in a part-time capacity. So like that was really hard to be on a good sleep schedule. But I think I am someone who needs almost 9 hours of sleep a night. Like there are short sleepers and there are long sleepers, and those are people on like the extreme ends of the bell curve who need more or less time. And I think 9 hours actually starts to qualify you as a long sleeper. And I do think, like, all else being perfectly optimized in my life, I would probably be satisfied with 8 hours. But I think because I'm always running at a little bit of a deficit, I feel like I need 9 hours. And I so rarely get 9 hours. But I do, like, I am someone who spends a lot of time thinking about and creating, like, routines for myself, and, like, thinking about sleep hygiene. Like, I don't like sleeping in too much on the weekends because I know it's better for you if you can, like, go to bed and wake up at pretty much the same time every day, so I try to keep it, like, within an hour or two, which maybe still isn't that great. Sarah can survive on 5.5, but should probably get 7. Yeah, 5.5, I mean, yes, I can survive, but I don't think I would be functioning too well at all on 5.5 hours of sleep. I think I pretty regularly these days get like 6 hours and 45 minutes. And I'm trying to go to bed earlier so that I can be getting more sleep. Because that is a hard thing too, is like, sure, there's the element of sleep taking up time when you could be doing other things. That's why, like, so many vampires and other immortal characters in books are always so well read because they don't sleep. So they, or either they, I guess I'm thinking of characters that don't sleep. Yeah, ones that don't sleep and can stay up all night learning new things and doing hobbies. But so there's the chunk of time that sleep actually takes, but then there's also, like, if you haven't slept enough and you're just tired all day, it's so much harder to do all of the things that you were excited to do or that you're, like, trying to squeeze into your day. And that is so frustrating to me. Like, you know, excited to do things that are maybe like fun hobbies or the fun parts of work, but even like sometimes I can theoretically be motivated to do less fun work stuff, and then I sort of like sit down to do it and I'm just so tired, and then I'm like, come on, I need to use this little bit of time that I'm given. I need just get it done, and it's just so frustrating. Melby says, I feel like I try to keep an 11 to 8 a.m. schedule, but since working from home, it's more like 1 a.m. to 10. Yeah, I mean, that's a tough thing. I've, for the most part, worked from home, like, since college. So, for me, that's like 13 years. I had been doing it a long time before the pandemic, so I feel like I have an edge on that. But it is still a challenge. Like, I think I finally hit on morning routines that actually get me out of bed, but I went through a pretty long period for a few years where I was really having trouble getting out of bed in the morning. Not completely in like a depressed way, just like I would literally just fall back asleep because I didn't have like, gotta be at the office by 9 a.m. People are gonna see if I'm late, or like I've got an 8 a.m. meeting, or like I didn't have any anchoring thing like that. And so it was like, it was tough to get myself out of bed. These days, I have like a fitness class that I go to in the mornings 2 days a week. And so like I have to get out of bed for that. And I think that's maybe helping my circadian rhythm, where on the other days, I'm kind of waking up. I mean, I wake up the same time every day, regardless of if I'm going to the gym or not. It's just other parts of my schedule are shifted, but yeah, maybe that's what's helping me. But there we go. Got those. That's for the 3 followers since the last week, so thank you all for that. I say this, well, I don't say it every week. I think this every week, and sometimes in between streams. I really want to go back and put the months under each one, so we can slightly track a little bit more of like, oh, this was September, October, November, blah, blah, blah. That would be fun. Hey, Starry, welcome in. Good to see you. Where's all my stuff? Okay. So I'm going to work on the Wingspan containers again today. As I was gathering it all before the stream, I was once again reminded that, like, I need to work on this, and I don't think I have that in me today. Speaking about, like, being too tired to be motivated. I really can't get this in focus. Oh, there we go. This is like the canvas bag that the eggs for Wingspan will go in. Yes, I will explain more about the Wingspan containers in a moment. I'm jumping ahead and then I'll rewind. But yeah, this is just so hard to see, especially because a lot of the floss, like, it's not even coming up on camera barely. It's like very similar in color to each other and similar in color to the bag, and it's very tiny stitches. And I'm stitching it all in hand so that I don't have to take the bag apart. And I decided at one point that this is like a only during the daytime kind of project, because I need the sunlight through a window to help me see it well enough. Maybe I will do this on stream at some point, but I think right now I would rather continue working on the other containers, which are these. So for Ari and anyone else who has not heard me describe this before, these are custom organizers that I have designed for the game Wingspan that I left in the other room. I was gonna bring it, but it is a tabletop game about birds with beautiful art, and there are lots of little pieces to it, and it comes with just like plastic bags and little plastic trays, and I decided to make a whole cross-stitch version of it. It started with I broke the bags and was like, I'll get some nice like canvas ones, and then I was like, well, why don't I stitch on them? It evolved from there. This I did not design. This is a pattern by Surithra. Let me just check the spelling on that, and then I'll put their name in the chat. But I feel like it's that. Yeah. Oh, cool. I even got a .com. So the Wingspan scissor-tailed flycatcher. This is the bird that's on the board, and that is the person who designed this pattern, if you are interested in it and want to get it. But these I have done myself. There's one other, but it's in the Wingspan box, which is in the other room, so I'm not gonna get it. But these are for the food tokens. So this bag would be like for the eggs that you collect to help like pay for birds and stuff. And then there's also these little cardboard tokens for the different types of things that birds might eat. So like worms, rats, grain, nectar. And I kind of just like looked at the cardboard tokens and used floss cross to kind of design them. This is like the worst looking one. I hate that this keeps being my example because it doesn't look great, but that's the wheat or the grain. This is going to be fish. I am almost done with all of the sides. I was working on this over the weekend, and so we're gonna move on to the fish tonight. And I do have the floss for that. Yes, I did bring it in here. Also, I designed these to be different sizes. There are 6 in total, so there's gonna be 3 big ones and 3 small ones, so that they can just like stack inside of each other when you put them in the box. Ari, you've been modding your Wingspan as well. Tell me about how you've been modding it. Would love to hear. And then just going back to our discussion about sleep and not having enough time and having trouble waking up in the mornings when you work from home, especially. Sarah says it kind of feels like a double-edged sword. Not having something in the morning, you can find yourself just lounging in bed really late on non-work days. Sometimes it can impact feelings of relaxation by having stuff every morning. Yeah, it's tough. For a long time, especially when I was like fully freelancing, I had people in my life who had like 9-to-5 office jobs telling me like, you should take advantage of this time and like be on an irregular schedule and like don't wake up at 6 a.m. Like, you know, do just like give yourself the freedom that you could never have with an office job. And I think that's a good thing to consider. And I like tried to do it here and there, but I just found that for me, I really needed to be on more of a schedule. I think the biggest thing is like knowing your energy levels for different types of tasks throughout the day. And for me, I have a lot of trouble doing like any kind of productive work in the evening. Like once it's after dinner, I don't want to work anymore. And I feel like that might even be residual from like school, of like homework dragged me down so much throughout high school and college. And I remember just dreaming of the day I would be done with school and I could just do whatever I wanted in the evenings like I watched my parents do. I was like, this feels so unfair. Like, we both worked all day and now they just get to hang out. Why do I have to keep working? I hated that. I hated that. I was a good student. I did all of my work, but I hated that concept. And I think even, how long has it been since I've been in school? I guess always 13 years. Like even 13 years later, I'm still like, no, I don't want to work at night. And I do work at night so often, but I don't like making myself, or I wouldn't want that to be the everyday. Like I've known a lot of freelancers who are like, I'm going to sleep until 12 and I do all of my work after like 8 p.m. And I'm like, that sounds awful. Good for you, but that is not for me. Hi Irish, welcome to the chat. I'm ranting about time management. Okay, but Ari is also making some Wingspan mods. That's the word I should be using instead. I've been struggling with like how to describe what I'm doing. Okay, so Sari's making a speaker attachment to the dice roller. Whoa, adding NFC tags to every bird card, so tapping the bird card to the dice roller makes the bird call, and scanning the bird card with your phone takes you to a website about that bird? That is so intense. Wow. Okay, so I have a friend who's like really into birding and the game Wingspan, and I feel like he would maybe be into that. He would at least think it's very cool what you're doing. I'm not sure if he would want to do that for his Wingspan, but that is wild. Oh yeah, Sarah, we got to push against like the grind core thing going on online. All the people just constantly grinding. No, let's not. I need to get my floss together. Okay, so also I've mentioned on previous streams, but if this is your first time seeing the Wingspan mods, organizers, whatever. Why does sometimes this just stops focusing? Did I turn on autofocus somehow? No, it's still in manual. Well, okay, whatever. You can see it down here too. I am using 3 different blended flosses. Although, now I have to double check. It is one of these two, not both, and then these two. So I'm using 3 of them just to create more of like a nest kind of look of like lots of different branches and stuff put together. Where's my sticky note? This is my very organized system. Okay, so this is from our bookshelf. And then this one is for Wingspan. Great, good, cool. Oh, I'm reading the end of Sarah's comment now. Yeah, it's good that I had friends who were like, take advantage of relaxing, but I actually think that those comments were not as helpful to me because I think that I actually needed to be more on a standard kind of work routine. But in other ways, they were frequently very helpful in reminding me to relax. Like when I didn't have days off, they'd be like, wow, your boss is such a jerk. Meaning me, I was my boss. So that was good, and I still try to remember that sometimes when I'm not taking enough time off. Let's see. So Tom taught English in China. Started at 5 a.m. Oh, ads happening. I'm gonna put the ad thing in here because I missed it. But okay, Tom, you were done by 10. Bit of an early wake up, but having the whole day to do whatever you wanted. Yeah, that's pretty great. I have definitely considered that lifestyle before. Okay, so while the ad's going, I'm gonna figure out my floss. Get my three going. And as usual, I've already forgotten what I've done here. Okay, so we have these two. Where did this come from? That's probably what I just did. I'm getting so distracted. Okay. I think I need to like make a system of where I am setting things so I don't confuse myself more. Okay, so we did these two. Now we shall do this one, which I might not have enough of. Oh, I hope I have another skein of this, because this is not even going to be enough what's on this bobbin. Okay, I'm pretty sure I bought extra skeins of all of these because I knew I was really going to run through them. Door, thanks for the sub. Thanks for subscribing. We're doing good in here. Did that break the ad for you? Because I will say I was watching a stream earlier today, and it was during a commercial break that someone gave me a gift sub, and I, still had to sit through the whole commercial break. So, I wonder how that's working for you. Oh, no. Okay. We're having a floss issue. Welcome back from the ads. Everyone who has gone for the ads, you have to refresh to get... Thank you all for that. That makes sense. But yeah, thank you, Door, for the resub. Thanks for being here for 4 months. Subscribed anyways. You've been here longer than that, I think, watching. And thank you all who were either sitting through those ads or have subscribed. I'm going to add another stitch for Door here before I forget. And then I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do about the fact that I do not have enough floss, and I'm gonna hope that I have an extra skein somewhere that I just didn't put in this bag, because otherwise I'm gonna be forced to work on this instead because I don't have enough floss to work on what I want to work on. So we are going to find that out in a moment. Oh, but during the ads, I saw that Irish had a lovely bank weekend with her girlfriend as opposed to the usual one night. Oh, 2 nights instead of one. That's really nice. Hold on. I'm putting this on here. And had a chill time. Lots of cuddles. Rewatched Full Metal Alchemist. Oh, and you're doing a rewatch of the MCU movies. That's ambitious. How much of a rewatch are you doing of those? Like, literally every movie? Are you including... Well, you did say movies. But, like, is there a stopping point, or is it just up to the most current ones? Uh-oh. Hold on. Gotta... hair chop. Yes, Rogue. I did not expect everyone to really notice that I got a haircut, but that's fun. Thanks for noticing, I suppose, everyone. What did I do here? Can I get that out? I can. You know what? That's not gonna do me any good next time. We're just gonna cut this off. I guess it does look a bit shorter and cleaner than it has in a while. So... I guess I get why folks are commenting. And they're all very nice comments, so thank you all very much. Alright, here is Door's resub Stitch, helping hold up the spools. Thank you so much for that, Door. Thank you to everyone who has followed and subscribed, contributing to the shelf there. We are observers who notice every detail. Useful for crafty people. Yeah, we gotta be detail-oriented folks here. And thank you, Dor, for saying the style suits me. Tom's overdue for a haircut. Yeah, it's been too cold. It has not been above freezing here since the 23rd of January. I had to look back at that today, because I was like, it's been cold for a long... And it's not like it was warm before then, but it has literally not been above freezing since the 23rd. There is a chance that it got just above freezing today. Today is the closest. Today's the first time we've been back in the 30s. I think since the 23rd. Or before that, longer. But we did get up to the 30s today. By which I mean 30 and maybe 31. Okay, so I need to go check to see if I have another skein of 938. I'm going to take this with me. So I'm going to put up the BRB screen real quick. In hindsight, could have timed that with the ads. So I will just be quick, folks. I will be... Oh, hold on. Let me fix this. What are we doing here? Come on. There we go. All right, I'll be back in just a minute. I forgot that I didn't add music to the BRB screen, so sorry about that. Got all quiet over there. So bad news. I do not have any more of that floss. Which is very annoying for so many reasons. It's annoying for tonight specifically, because I think my energy level is much more doing something like that than something like this. It's also annoying because I was literally at Michael's over the weekend. And I could have bought a bunch of floss. And now, I also, I recently put in an order with either 123 Stitch or Everything Cross Stitch, one of those great small businesses online, and I could have ordered more floss there. Now I gotta figure out when I can run errands again. Okay, but that means we're gonna work on this. which is exciting in a way, but I brought all of my floss because I was not prepared for what colors that I need. But the first thing that I'm gonna have to do is I want to put the floss I took off back on the appropriate bobbins so that this at least stays organized. Okay. Put this on here. Okay, so going back to the MCU marathon, Irish, I did the same. I watched, I think that is clearly not the right color. I watched the first season of Loki and WandaVision. I was trying to keep up, but that was around the time I sort of fell off of the movies, and then the TV shows were too much. I was so in on Marvel up until shortly after Endgame, and then it just got hard to keep up. They made too many things. You're only up to the first Avengers movie so far, so you got a long ways to go. Dor, you're gonna be a hairstyle apprentice's final exam. That's cool. And a little nerve-wracking. I'm glad you're excited for it. Going from hair that meets your lower mid-back to really short, that's super exciting. Have you... Oh. Hold on. What is this? What is this floss? Okay, I think I have at least one that I can do. I have this one piece of floss from the color that I need. After all that, we're gonna do at least one, since it's here, and then I'll move on to this one. Okay. What a chaotic start. Okay, so I have the one of this. That is here. I will now take this one back off. As a sole survivor. It's true, it's true. Anyways, Dor, is this your first time, cutting your hair that short? Have you had a short haircut before? Either way, that's exciting. And, fun to help out someone on their final exam. Oh, good. Thanks for folks translating the Fahrenheit to Celsius. I was gonna get there eventually, but I've been distracted by the floss situation. Also, this one time I was in London, and it was I guess I don't have to I was gonna talk vaguely and not say exactly what it was, but it wasn't a secret thing that I was doing. It was a YouTube thing. It was a global creators summit. YouTube sent a bunch of us out to London, and I can't remember exactly the name of the program. It was something they used to do, and it was kind of for more activist-ish-y YouTube creators. And they had one cohort of them already, and then they invited a ton of us out to London to do all kinds of stuff, and it was sort of an invitation to apply to the program. And I applied, and I did not get in. But I got a free trip to London from YouTube, which was super cool. And so a bunch of us were hanging out there, and I make the point that it was a global thing because there were creators from all over the world, including some who lived in London. And it was January, so it was cold, and we were discussing the weather. And a few of us, it was sort of a mixed group, but there were a few of us who were Americans, were trying to work out the Celsius to Fahrenheit thing. And I turned to my friend who's born and raised in England, and I was asking her, I was oh, I forgot the conversion, the formula to convert Fahrenheit to Celsius. And in my head, I was in the UK, they have a much better education system than in Texas. And so surely someone who had this great English education will still remember the formula to convert Fahrenheit to Celsius and vice versa. And so I sort of asked her that, and she was no, why would I know that? Why would we learn how to convert to Fahrenheit? There's no use for it. We have to learn those conversions because we use Celsius in science and international stuff. But she was just like, no. So like in my head, I was like, oh, you had a better education, so you'll remember how to do this formula. But to her, she was like, no, I had a better education, so I never had to learn that stupid formula because we use the correct system. I was like, yeah, fair. Very fair point. Um, 14 degrees -9, yeah. Nicknamed Endgame Heartbreak. Heartbreak in HD, yeah, Endgame was... Infinity War was also very sad, but yeah, Endgame was something else. I'm trying to remember if it was Endgame or Infinity War. One of them. It must have been Endgame, now I'm thinking about it. It must have been Endgame. I was away at camp when it came out, like the weekend that it came out. That makes it sound like I was young. I was in my 30s, I think. Was it? Must have been before the pandemic. Did Endgame come out in 2019? Whatever. I was at Camp Lost Boys, which was this like camp that used to exist for men of trans experience. So it was like a summer camp style retreat for men, grown men. And that's where I was when Endgame came out. And so I knew I wouldn't be able to see it until camp ended on like Sunday afternoon. And camp was out in California, so I was staying with some friends for the next few nights. And I literally like we didn't have internet or cell reception at camp. So I knew I wasn't gonna get spoilers while I was at camp. But before I went to my friend's house, I just like drove down the mountain camp was on immediately to a movie theater, sat in the movie theater, watched Endgame, and then I turned my phone back on because I was like, I am not getting any spoilers. Like, I need to just have no contact with the outside world until I can watch this because I was like a few days late. You know, a lot of people would have seen it Thursday night. But it was worth it. I cried a lot. And I think I went from there to that like main LGBTQ center in LA, and they have a bunch of donations from the Stark family. So there's some picture of me literally still wearing an Iron Man shirt that I had worn to the movie screening, standing by some statue that's like donated by the Stark Foundation, and I'm just like pretending to cry because it was sad. Anyways, those are my Endgame stories. Double showing of Infinity War and Endgame. What'd that take, like 5 days to watch? They're both so long. Okay, Dora saying, had a short bob kind of style my whole childhood, then shaved the sides of my head at 15 or 16. That's fun. Longest I've had my hair was last year when you could sit on it, and then you cut it last summer. Wow. That's fun. I grew my hair back out in the pandemic, and it got long enough that I could technically put it in a ponytail. That's the longest I've had my hair since I transitioned. But I think the longest I had it pre-transition, it got down to like almost my butt at one point. It was like the longest, which is fun in some ways, but also really annoying in many other ways. But shaving the sides of your head is pretty cool. Freedom units is a nickname for Fahrenheit. I've definitely seen that for a lot of like Imperial System stuff. Freedom units, yeah. Dor never watched Endgame. I mean, that kind of makes sense. To me, it was just such a cultural moment, Infinity War and Endgame. Also felt a little bit like the last big grasp or whimper of movie theaters and movie theater going culture, because it was shortly before the pandemic. Also frequently wild to think about Infinity War and Endgame actually having been written and produced before the pandemic, because there's a lot of pandemic resonance in both of them. Oh yeah, Melby, very fun to donate your hair, but yep, it gets annoying. It's a commitment to grow it out. Like, I know some people grow it out more out of laziness. Like, my uncle used to only get one haircut a year, and so his hair would get like this long, and then he'd cut it to like this short once a year. That's what he would do. So that is a form of like low maintenance, but having hair that long is not. super low maintenance, you know? And it can be kind of annoying. Irish cinemas are usually quiet, but for that double screen of Infinity War and Endgame, people were given permission to react out loud. I like that. That's fun. The first Marvel movie came out the night before my best friend from high school's wedding, so the wedding party went out to see the movie the night before. That's pretty fun. I was at a wedding in the fall that was like the weekend that Wicked came out, and so we went like Thursday night, so it didn't disrupt the wedding. But at one point I was thinking, like, can we convince everyone in the wedding party to go Friday night, like after the welcome drinks? Just go see Wicked? Okay, I'm gonna try to reinforce this corner a little bit, just by doing whatever. Not even sure what I'm really doing. Just kind of putting things in holes here. Oh, no. Tom, you got into the MCU through WandaVision. Huh. I mean, WandaVision was great. That's just like, that is not what I would have expected. Bell Nye, hi. Welcome to the stream. Welcome in. How are you doing? Now I'm gonna have to choose what direction this is going. Okay, really wild that the auto mod held your comment for misogyny door because you said look like a girl. I've really got to see if I can adjust these auto mod settings. That's ridiculous, but I just approved your message. That's so weird. You wanted to have a mohawk shaped like a chameleon lizard, but your dad wouldn't let me. That is a very cool concept, though. I'm glad you were at least allowed to shave the sides, though. Like, a lot of people wouldn't even get that, especially with your dad's reasoning, so I'm glad you got to have a little bit of fun there. But the chameleon lizard thing sounds like a fun idea. Maybe you'll get to do that some other time, if that's still what you want to do. Our styles always change so much. Wow, you can't at all, like, really see what I'm doing on here. That's okay. Once this floss is done, we'll switch over to the bag. Alright, so what are folks working on tonight? I don't think I really heard from anyone at the start. So let me know if you brought crafts to the table tonight. Cats! Oh, Joe's doing more cats. Nice. What kind of I was gonna say activity? What kind of mischief is the cat you're currently working on getting up to? Oh, Bell Nye, you're reading. You can read while you watch a stream? I don't think I could focus that well. Sarah's on the 10th graduation cap. It's 10 out of 10, right? You're on your last one, but then you said still have to do confetti on most of them. Joe's working... Oh, the cat is in a bag. Nice. Door's still figuring out the mouth of the puppet. Is this the Audrey 2 puppet? It is 10 total. Well, congratulations, Sarah. Haha. That's funny, because they're graduation hats. So it's like, that's also congratulations. But still, well done. Doing 10 of them is very cool. Okay, Audrey 2 is the puppet. That's so cool. That's very cool. I might put up the show and tell thing again. Not positive if I'll do it tonight, but I might put the link up there. Meow's catching up on Animal Crossing. Oh, Bell Nye, I've been meaning to read that book, One of the Boys by Victoria Zeller. That is the, like, trans football team one, right? I might be misremembering, but I thought that was on my TBR. Okay, if anyone knows good tutorials for completing cross stitches onto wooden hoops, like, sort of like finishing the project, and so it's displayed in a wooden hoop, is that kind of what you're asking? Tom's working on getting in steps. Nice. God, yeah, this weather, I have not been good about getting my steps in at all. I like the flowery cross stitch that you're working on. This too shall pass, but holy... Can I say... I'm gonna say it. Holy fuck. I'm gonna say it anyways. I don't have this marked as 18+, but I said it. Sorry that your friend's having a rough time, but that's a very nice little gift to give for them. Oh hey, fun update, Bell Nye. Congrats on the girlfriend. Rereading your notes so you can talk about it with your GF. That's very fun. It's a very fun, like, little early relationship kind of thing. Transfem YA football book. Cool, yes. I wanted to read that, like, during football season this year, and then I didn't, so maybe this next year. I feel like I want to read it during football season, when I'm all amped up, you know? Oh, as in other news from long weekend, came to the realization we got ever married double-barreled our surnames, so it'd be Cow and Cow. Cow! That would be funny. That'd be a good hyphenation. I mean, I don't know about good, but it'd be a funny hyphenated last name. Okay, so finishing to make something kind of like an ornament within the wooden hoop. I never remember the names of most of the YouTube channels that I have watched that I will, like, frequently revisit for tutorials on that. But one that I believe has a tutorial, they definitely have some kind of a tutorial, is Caterpillar Cross Stitch. And I feel like if you go find one of their tutorials about finishing your project in a hoop, the algorithm will probably serve you more. So that is my honest recommendation, is go to that first one and then let the algorithm guide you to others. Or just, you know, search on YouTube. Finishing is usually the word that's used. So that would be the finding aid that I would recommend. Okay, Automod is being stupid today. Okay, Bill Nye doesn't understand football, grew up playing team sports, get the gist. It's cool because the author herself used to play football and is a huge fan, and she's trans femme, so despite not being trans femme, it's so incredibly relatable and sweet. Yeah, okay, I thought that I had seen that from the author at some point, that she played football and also is a trans author, which is part of why I was excited to read it. I like attempting to keep up with books written by trans people. Peter, cow themed wedding for sure. We are gonna have an ad coming up in about 90 seconds, FYI. And despite all that I just did to get this needle back on, I think I'm gonna finish this floss. And that's all we're gonna be able to do on this one tonight, because I didn't buy enough floss. Keep a secret from family, and then the reception, there's just a banner with cow. Yeah, and then it's gotta be cow themed too. You gotta do it. That's in this hypothetical world. Melby, The Prospects sounds familiar. Can you remind us what it's about? And based on your message, I'm assuming that it's like a book about trans people by a trans author? Oh, Joe, thank you. Coming in clutch with the actual YouTube channel name. I think I've maybe seen that one too. Peacock and Fig sounds familiar. So How to Frame Cross Stitch in an Embroidery Hoop from Peacock and Fig. Yeah, check that one out. I think that that might be one of the ones that I've watched. We got ads going, so I'm gonna start trying to get myself organized for this, which I guess I'm doing. Oh, okay, yeah, so I want to put it on my other screen so we can look at the pattern. And I want to give credit and have an image, so I got some stuff to do to make this all work. Okay, pattern credit is... Oh, that's usually all caps. Okay. I gotta... Oh, I haven't attached my iPad at all. You actually knew someone who had a cow-themed wedding when you were a kid? That's... Wow. What, were they farmers? Like, why did they decide to do a cow-themed wedding? That is fascinating. Okay. Gotta get the iPad connected and hopefully not knock everything else out while I do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Plug it in here. Ah, there we go. Okay, The Prospects is a baseball romance, minor leagues, major chemistry. Trans man main character reuniting with an old teammate through a trade deal. Very, very cute. Little not enemies but haters to lovers. Is the romantic interest... What is the gender of the romantic interest? Because I've noticed that it is kind of tough to find trans men characters in, like, ships or couples or whatever with women. It is often with men, sometimes other trans men, sometimes cis men, or, like, boys, young men, if we're talking about YA. It seems like it is much more common for them to be like gay trans men or bi trans men or whatever, but just in like men loving men relationships. So I'm on the hunt for more of the not necessarily hetero, still queer, but trans guy with a girl kind of stories. It is a gay story. Oh, they're teammates, right. And in this world, hardly anything is co-ed. When sports, I don't want to go down the trans people in sports thing, but it's written so well. Well, I still want to check it out, and it sounded familiar to me, so I bet it is actually on my TBR somewhere. Okay, the cow wedding was just, she's eccentric and a pure jokester. Well, I'm into that. I'm into goof for goof's sake. Oh, okay. iPad is definitely slowing my computer down a little bit. Might have to see what all I can close. I mean, I think it's the iPad that's doing it. I guess it could be any number of things. That's not what I want. Just still getting set up to get started on the Wingspan thing here. Okay. Let's go to pattern images. Gonna add a little picture of this. Oh, you know, I did read Stay Gold, Tom. Did I blurb that? I don't think I did. But he definitely sent it to me. Which is how I think that's how I heard about it. I should reread Stay Gold, because that was a good one, and I read it a while ago. But Act Cool, I do not think I am as familiar with. Okay, so it's... Oh, Act Cool is also by Tobley. A bit on the angsty emotional side. Yeah, Stay Gold is definitely... I mean, it's sort of inspired by The Outsiders, right? So definitely gonna have that angst in it. In that case. Getting this set up. Act Cool, it's about an aspiring actor at a new school. New school even. Okay, so what are we at on this pattern? There are 3,707 stitches in this pattern. Dun 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 dun. And then this would have been like, I'm gonna say about 20. Maybe I'll say 21. Hey, what's going on here? You can't see a lot of what I'm futzing with yet, but I'm futzing with many things. Why don't you move? And then this, we will... Oh, I gotta do this. So many things to set up on the screen where I show you the pattern and stuff. And so many things that OBS doesn't like to save from time to time, which is frustrating. Okay, go back here, and here. That's gonna be a 0. And we're gonna make that a clean 40. Cool. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Sandy Toksvig wrote a book called Friends of Dorothy. I'm very intrigued by that. You want to read it on your phone. So in the States, we have something called Libby, which is ebooks through libraries. I do not know if it is international. Maybe someone else in the chat knows. You could also try Googling, like, British version of Libby. That might help you out. And this is... I feel like I got zoomed in a lot. I'm gonna try to zoom myself back out. There we go. That's a little bit better. That's a little bit closer to how it was. Okay, Libby is in Ireland and in Canada, so probably in the UK. Dor, you should check out, see if Libby is a thing. And if you have a library card, potentially through your university, definitely through public library. Okay, author's note from the prospects. This book is an optimistic one. That's a good author's note of it's meant to be optimistic, but it also takes place in a very cisgender heterosexual space of men's professional baseball. And so you get the transphobia and homophobia that exists there. Yeah. Sarah, don't forget in an hour you have your workout class. Oh, Melby, you were also reading the prospects. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that author's note to me makes it sound like there's gonna be like a lot of slurs or something, but I think it's probably just from like a very conscious, aware author who maybe like arguably didn't even need that warning, but was nice they put it there. Oh, Dor, I look like your nice cousin. Well, that's good. Thanks. No, thank you for sharing, Bell Nye. I mean, as someone who writes books, I'm always very interested in things like that, in like what authors choose to kind of disclaim and how they write it, so that was really cool to see. All of that, and I still didn't even connect the iPad. Hey, that's just a little off. There we go. Okay. So I guess I was working on these little forward arrows, which are DMC 413. Did I throw it in here at some point? I don't know. Let's get 413. Bam, right there. Right in the center of the shot. This piece of floss knew how to take its opportunity. Really knows how to find the camera. No, Dor, that is definitely not a nice cousin. I'm glad I don't look like the cousin who did that. Yeah, were you all right? That sounds horrible. Was your cousin also, like, appropriately reprimanded for that? Oh, wait, no, I had this random piece of floss that I was apparently doing. Maybe I should start with that. What was I trying to do here? Hold on a second. Okay, last time I did this, I think I did the wrong color. So I might just frog all of this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this is absolutely the wrong color. It even says it's supposed to be dark. This is not dark. Alright, so let's frog what I did the last time I worked on this weeks ago. It is a lot of colors. And Melby, thank you for asking. I will put the link here. And yeah, maybe at the end we will share. So we did this last week. It worked quite well. You do not need to make an account or anything on this site. They are anonymous submissions. If you want me to know who you are, you can put that in the caption. You can put anything else you want me to know in the caption. Also, if you are putting your progress picture up on this link through the submission form, I am assuming that you want it shared on the stream unless you say otherwise. You are welcome to share something that you just want me to see, that you don't want to go up on the stream, but please, please put that in the caption so that I know and I don't share it. And it'll be a little bit clunky sharing it at first because I'm gonna have to download all of the pictures to be able to share them because screen share still isn't working on my OBS. As Tom said, something of OBS is always actively working against us. Hey, what is this? I've got some... Oh, that's this. Sorry. I just saw something on my end. I was like, what is that? Well, Dora, I'm glad that you took that in stride. That's a really rough thing to happen to a little kid. But I guess little kids also bounce back more from it. Belle, is this more from... the author's note? I like this. This is good to see. I'm trying to see. Oh, this is the calmest chaos you think you've witnessed. Yeah, that's I think that's pretty accurate to me. Just constant chaos, but pretty calm about it for the most part. I don't know what that is. Maybe because I'm tired. All right, let's get rid of this floss, which is like so hard to see. Okay, get this out of the way of my arm for while I do this. Make sure. Yeah, this is the kind of project where I need to get that zoom lens I keep talking about. I mean, I have a zoom lens. Need to get some way for it to work, rather. Also get this floss. There we go. All right. Boy, this is tough to frog. I was watching a crochet streamer today, and I'm not positive on I think their pronouns were she, her. As I say they. But they had like a redeem to frog the whole row. It wasn't like some sort, like I've thought of having some kind of just like alert reaction thing for when I have to frog, where I don't know, some kind of frog joke or something. But she literally has something where people can pay with bits to make her undo an entire row. It's like, why? Why would you do that to yourself? I mean, that's chaos. Yeah, exactly. Like when she started saying it, I thought it was going to be similar to what I thought of just like, oh, when it happens, maybe you have like some kind of fun emote that people can do or something. But she was like, no, it's literally people making her undo a row. I mean, she seemed to like it. That seemed to be, you know, like obviously she said it. She decided to do it. But I was a bit bewildered. I was working on another cross-stitch project this weekend, and it's something that I designed. Like, I worked from an image of something, but I designed it, and it includes a circle. And when I designed it in Floss Cross, I used like the circle function. It looked like it was all symmetrical, and then when I stitched it out, it just wasn't. And so I kind of frogged like a little more than half of it to try to even it up. But I'd used multiple pieces of floss, so some of them had like the ends sewn in already, so I ended up having to get out a seam ripper to get some of it out. And I thought I did fine at that, but then I was like re-stitching it, and I got the circle looking good, and then I got to one point where I had like broken up the Ada cloth enough that the floss would not stay in the cloth. And so at that point, I resigned myself to having to like start all over with fresh cloth, but I didn't have enough left of the kind that I needed in my stash. And so then that's why I ended up going to Michael's over the weekend, and had to get some new cloth. And I ended up going, Joe, you'll appreciate this, I went from 16 to 18 count, because I just kind of, that's what I think I wanted to do to begin with, because I wanted the ultimate project to be smaller than it was going to be with 16, but I had 16 on hand, so I used it, then I ruined it. So then I got 18. Should have bought floss for this project while I was there. And so then I sat down that night to work on it again, and I frogged most of that circle 2 more times before I got it looking the way that I wanted it, because I just kept... There's also like a design inside the circle that I was like kind of changing from what my design was. So it took me all weekend and so many tries to do this little circle on this design. Yeah, 18 count is fun. Okay, so I guess last time we were talking, I'd never stitched on 18 count. It really does not feel substantially different than 16. So I'm into it. I think I might be converted to 18. Harder to find, but I liked it. Can I get this out all the way? That sounds so sad. Just a little bit. A lot of gaming streamers use Dixper, which basically allows the chat to actively sabotage their gameplay. That makes sense. And I think this is a streamer who, like, I don't know if they stream games, but they were definitely talking about games. So, like, they play them and maybe watch other streamers, and maybe that's where they got that idea. I would not. Like, I'm not enjoying this right now. I'm not enjoying this process. I wouldn't want to give all of you the power to make me do that. Well, now I gotta figure out what floss that was and where that belongs. Okay. Where'd Frog and Toad go? Come back here. As I'm frogging. Here they are. Okay. So this is really supposed to be 413. Oh, here's the other annoying thing about this pattern. Is I've messed this up a lot too, and have kind of just kept going with it, because I'm like, there are some ways that might not look good, but you know, it's a kind of, it's not abstract, but there's so many like little details of the feathers and the gradient and stuff that I don't think it'll look too bad if I have some stitches kind of messed up, and I'll just sort of like keep fixing it as I go and as you can see the image better. But that does mean trying to follow the pattern has turned into quite a headache because it's so messed up at this point. A redeem where I can change my needle minder. That's a fun idea. I'm still like, part of why I haven't done a lot of those yet. One is like time. Like I've had some ideas for things, but I'm still trying to wrap my head around like redeems, bits, channel point. I guess like bits and channel points are kind of how you pay for redeems. And then like what all redeems can do. I know you can just like, they can be a thing where it's like honor code. I do it. Like you tell me to change my needle minder and I'll do it. But like also you can use bits to like make emotes big or put something up on the screen potentially. And so I'm still trying to like, I don't know why it's so hard for me to understand all of this, but I've been really struggling to like understand it enough to design and decide what I want to do. Yeah, okay, so yeah, channel, that's what I've sort of been like, bits you pay for, channel points you get based on like stream streaks and stuff, or being in the chat. Dory went out for, I'm just going back up to your older comment, went out to the shops for a single pint of milk, came home with 2 new cosplays, some accessories for a third, and a new craft project. Did you get the milk? Yeah, so when I went to Michael's, I was just gonna do my pick, like I even ordered it. It was like store pickup, got the cloth, and then I was there and I was like, oh, they're doing a like huge clearance on their storage stuff. And then I spent a really long time deciding on a few like 80% off storage items that I ended up getting. My arms were full when I left Michael's and I was like, how did this happen again? Jackson Bird's stitching a bird. I am indeed. I did not connect the dots on that. But hey, welcome in, Ace. Or welcome to the chat, at least, if you've been here. Wow, my nose is super stuffed all of a sudden. That's it's gonna make it a little harder to breathe. Okay. Did I decide that I've used this recently enough? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think so. It should already be cut. Yes. Okay, nice. So we're doing 413. Dark pewter gray. Gonna do the right color. Make up for past me doing that mistake. But yeah, welcome in, Ace, or anyone else who has joined more recently. This is the scissor-tailed flycatcher, which is the bird on the cover of the Wingspan box. Wingspan is a tabletop game, and I have been designing some like organizers for all the different pieces in the game. This pattern design on this bag comes from Cerethra. You can see their name written at the bottom of the screen, bottom left. You can go to their social media or their website if you are interested in this pattern or other patterns from them. But putting it on a bag was my idea, and then I have these other elements that I actually designed. But I ran out of the floss to keep working on those tonight. So now I'm working on this bag with the pattern that I did not design. Okay. Ace, yes, that is very hilarious. I should have looked at responses to that better. I'm not good at looking. Sometimes I will ask questions on Instagram and I don't look at the responses. I'm not very good at that. Oh no, Dor, you lost the dark green wool for Audrey too. We're just losing supplies left and right tonight. Oh no. Yeah, Sarah, I have not dropped a needle yet tonight. However, I was looking at, like, my little needle containers the other night, and I was like, what? Where are those? Why are there so few? There should be more in these. So I probably have dropped needles at some point. But Sarah was stitching, and Sarah's rambunctious cat swiped the floss, and the needle went MIA. Took almost an hour to find. You stabbed yourself in the process. Oh no! I'm glad you're fine now. It really hurts in the moment, but yeah, stabbing yourself with, like, these are dull needles. They're not like sewing needles. So they're not as bad as it could be, but it is not pleasant. Tom lost a needle this morning. I'm worried your cat will find it before you. Yeah. So I kept imagining that cats would eat the needles, and that was the concern. I've been informed that it's more probably that they would, like, step on it and would get into their paws, which is also not pleasant, but sounds better than it getting stuck in their, like, throat or something to me. Okay. Stitching in hand. Stitching on waste canvas. Gonna remember how to do this. And then this will go to here, I think. Try to pull it back. Should have done that differently, but that's how I did it. Okay, I'm gonna move this a little bit closer for myself. Ooh, magnetic needles. I have heard about those, but have not gotten any yet. Okay, so now this has to go over here. Come on, there we go. Ah! When did the announcement drop that we were to use dull needles? Joe, not sure if you're joking or not. But if you are not joking, yeah, you should use tapestry needles. They look like this. If you're doing 14 count, I think they usually say 24. I think the larger the number, the, like, smaller it is. So I have these smaller number, larger needles that I've been using when I've been doing the plastic canvas, and I've had 3 strands or 6 strands, whatever, going through here. Joe, yeah, go get tapestry needles. I mean, they're not completely dull, but they are. I was thinking if I can get my sewing needles, but I don't super feel like it. But they are more dull, markedly more dull than most sewing needles. So without seeing what you're working with, I'm not entirely sure if you have been using different needles, but it sounds like maybe. Tom, your cat got the razor out of the shower and played with it? That's wild. That's... wow. Oh, hey! Yeah, Ace, have fun at rehearsal. Thanks for popping in a little bit. But yeah, have a great time with the best little mouse house in Texas. I don't know, I gotta come up with a better auto mod PG-13 appropriate name for that play. Also, need to remember how to stitch in hand. So now we go to here. Maybe I should adjust this a little bit. I don't know how much better it's gonna be for your view, folks, but okay, so this. Oh no, this goes here. Oh, left the wool at your grandpa's. Bummer. But we got an ad coming up in 30 seconds, folks. Best little adult fun time house in Texas. I like that. That's very good, Sarah. And then we will not give Melby that horrifying mental image of taxidermy mice being posed in unnatural positions. I don't even want to think. I have a real fear of rodents, so I don't even want to think about that. Best little adult fun time house in Texas. Let's see. What is... So stitched today? We've done 3 stitches so far. Almost. Slow going with this one. It is going to be so satisfying when I finish this bag. But I do have... Oh. The bottom number should be how much I've done total. Which I have done much more than that. Although less than I thought when I just looked. I've done over 500 stitches. Okay. Nope. There we go. A s'more house. Ooh, that's also good. The best little s'more house in Texas. I've eaten a lot of s'mores in Texas, but they haven't been in a house. They've all been around a campfire. Maybe I had a s'more inside a cabin once at Girl Scout camp. If ever a billionaire, that's what you'd invest in. The s'more house? Yeah. Great investment. Okay, so now where does this one go? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. It should just be right here, but the stitches look kind of uneven, so it's a little hard to see. I guess this is right. Is it though? Yeah, okay. And then we're gonna go back here again. That should be there. There to there. Yes. Door, it is a musical. It's, I assume, American, probably written in Texas, which is why I'm familiar with it. If you were to Google best little, I mean, I can say it. It's the best little whorehouse in Texas. I don't even remember what it's about. I was saying last time that I only know about it because the community theater that I grew up at had, like, collages of every show they've ever done, and they've done it a few times at that theater, like back in the 80s, but I just happened to see those collages like all the time when I was middle school age, so I was like very familiar with the fact that it was a play, but I never saw it. And it is apparently a movie with Dolly Parton. I think I knew that, but like would not have been able to tell you that. Everything is bigger in Texas, but they also really like adding unnecessary adjectives and diminutive language to things. As an example, also at the community theater, I was in a production of Best Christmas Pageant Ever, and the director always called it the best little Christmas pageant ever. Despite the fact that like all the programs and posters were printed correctly and it was everywhere in the script, and there was like sometime during the run of performances where I finally corrected her because I was that kid, and she was just like, what? Like she had no idea that the word little wasn't in there. She was like, no, it's called the best little Christmas pageant ever. I mean, in her defense, she was almost always in the cast of The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, so she was probably just mixing it up in her head. But I think, yeah, Texans like adding a lot of words like that to their language. Did I just not finish that stitch? I think that is true. But can this now go here? And then I'll go back up here. Oh, it's just so hard to see everything. Okay. This will go here. Are you distracting me? Best Christmas pageant ever, size unknown. I mean, you're like slightly distracting me. It's more the fact that this is just very difficult for me. Okay. Oh. Okay, I did that wrong. I'm almost sure. Almost certain. Wait, this... Yeah, that's definitely wrong. Okay. Gotta go back somehow. Oh, not too far. That's great. In Britain, where they say exceedingly less words. That's true. I mean, he's from Kansas, not from Texas, but I think Ted Lasso is a great example of that point of just, I think that Southerners are very opposite to English folks. nice dig at the posh there, Door. Okay, let me do this the right way. Well, part of the problem is I don't know why this is here. Might just have to keep going back for a minute. And then, like, how did that end up there? That's what tripped me up before. Yeah, where did you come from? Where did you go, Cotton Eye Joe? Wild. Huh. At some point, I just like brought this up in a direction that I have not been bringing the floss at any point. And so that is what has been confusing me here. It's like I don't know how it got on that side, in that place. And just putting the needle back down through it does not always super work on waste canvas. Yep, like that didn't really work. But I guess if I just start from here, then I could do... Come on. Get you in this square. No! All the tangles. Okay, there, and then from here, let's go back to here. All right, I think we're back on track now, as much as I'm gonna be. Although it's not where I would prefer that to have gone, but that's okay for now. I think that when I take this waist canvas off, these stitches are just going to be so exceptionally messy. Well, I guess I'll keep doing what it looks like I should do. Even though that doesn't look right. Oh well. Once again, big oh well on this pattern. Sarah, I do indeed know the reference, as it seems many others do. That's such a good episode. I have not watched it in a long time. I haven't watched Doctor Who at all in a long time. I tried to, like, catch up before Shurigatwa's premiere. I guess I did a little bit, but then I didn't end up watching all of that even. Yeah, I think part of what happened here when I, like, messed up is, kind of happening still, is related to what I was saying before, which is that I've messed up on this pattern so much that it's like I can't quite use my old stitches as reference points. So that does make things complicated. Oh yeah, and I think this wing might be, like, way longer than it's supposed to be. Oh well, just keep trucking along. Oh, Sarah, you and your friends are working your way through. Just finished Donna's last episode. Oof, you're in an emotional arc there. The David Tennant return was great. That was kind of like, I think I looked up some kind of guide online of, like, here are all the standout episodes that you need to watch, and I kind of watched, like, first and last of every season and Christmas special and stuff. And yeah, that was good to get back into, but I didn't keep up with it. Excuse me. Rogan also tried to keep watching when Capaldi started. Yeah, I struggled. I liked Capaldi. I also liked Clara. Was he still with Clara for a little bit? My main thing of when I really started struggling was, like, I just felt like Clara's plot lines just got too complicated and uninteresting. And that's kind of when I had trouble keeping up with Doctor Who, was at that point. So I didn't really see the end of her arc. And then I, like, would come back here and there for, like, new doctors and get excited and just, yeah. You know, I think it was also, like, that was before Marvel got bloated, but similar things of just, you know, like, the early 20-teens, we were all so into Marvel and so into Doctor Who and all the kind of, like, fanish stuff, and they really dominated culture, and they don't as much. That all started falling off. Thank you, Joe and Mikey. Not Joey and Mike. Joe and Mikey, thank you for that. I really am. I hope I'm not getting sick. Like, I'm really congested all of a sudden. I've also been exhausted for several days, so maybe I am getting sick. I don't like that. Okay. I do think that I just accidentally made this wing too long, somehow. But I'm just gonna keep going with it, I guess. I guess that's what we do. Keep on trucking. And then this goes... Oh, just right there. That's part of what I keep doing wrong. Going a little too far. Joe, it's not like you need to be really particular about the bird's wingspan. Oh, wait. Yeah, it's kind of the whole game. But also, I really don't. It's a good joke, and it's also fine. Oh, now Downton Abbey door. That's something. I have watched every episode of Downton so many times. That's kind of my like almost always on loop show. I watch Downton a lot. So I'm with your partner there I mean the lack of science doesn't bug me in Doctor Who, but I'm with Frame in enjoying Downton Abbey. I've never gotten into Call Your Midwife. Maybe one day. Okay. So now I'm gonna make it up a little more again. And let's do... Well... I don't know. How many seasons of Call the Midwife are there? Is it still running? The veterinarian one is all creatures great and small. Yeah, there you go. Dor got it at the same time as me. Barbara and Chummy are some good characters. Alright. I will say, going back to our discussion about types of needles, part of how I figure out where this needle's going is pretty much just by poking myself constantly. So Joe, if I were using your pointy needles, this would not be going well. sure. I'm really just kind of doing whatever here. Okay, so I'm gonna go all the way over there. Before I do, I'm gonna put the show and tell thing in the chat again. I haven't checked if people uploaded things at all. Oh, I got a couple, thanks. So if anyone wants to share what they've been working on tonight, I think in a few minutes we'll do the show and tell. So like I said, if you want me to know who you are, you can put that in the caption. You don't have to make an account, although if you have one, looks like Melody has an account made. Yeah, you don't have to make an account. It can be anonymous, but if you want me to know who you are or anything else about the project, you can put it in the caption. Also put the pattern designer in the caption if you can. And if you do not want me to show it on stream, also put that in the caption, because otherwise the working assumption is that you're cool with it being shared on screen. There's like a disclaimer about that at the top of the page. It's almost 8 o'clock. That's true. Oh man. Yeah, I do. That's another thing. I feel like I need some kind of fun graphic or something for 8 o'clock. That's so good. But anyway, yeah, we'll do show and tell in a minute, because I'm fading fast. Maybe I'm getting sick, but I think it's also just like staring at these tiny stitches and trying to work backwards on all of the things that I did not do well. So get those in if you want to share anything. We'll do it in just a handful of minutes here. Shortly after 8 o'clock, we'll do show and tell. If I were using Joe's needles, I could literally said I made it with blood, sweat, and tears. I did have a wedding gift that I cross-stitched once that I like poked myself bad enough that I did bleed, and the blood got onto the pristine, white wedding Aida cloth. But this particular couple, I decided would like the story and the goriness of it, so I kept it and like wrote in the card what happened. But I don't think I cried while making it, so it wasn't really blood, sweat, and tears. Definitely sweat. I mean, my hands are sweaty right now. Okay, so then let's go over here. That's not too bad. Go over a little bit. There we go. I am starting to get in the groove with this again. I always get back into it eventually. But I will say, as I have kind of always suspected, I think it is tough to do this while streaming, because I have to focus so much that it's tougher to sort of keep up conversation. So sorry I'm being a little quieter, but we'll do the show and tell soon. That'll be fun. And after that, probably find someone to raid and wrap up for the night. But thank you all for being here for now. What is going on here? I've got another situation where a stitch is just kind of in a weird place. I think this is technically just 14 count waist canvas. At some point I was gonna do 16 or 18 of this, and I don't know how I thought I was gonna manage that, because this is so hard, just being 14. It's like so hard to see and stuff. Okay, that is that whole section of this color basically done. That was hardly any stitch. That was 22 stitches. It took so long. We did have to frog some, so that's something. But wow. Wait, that's it should be something like that as the total, and then this is up to that. Cool. That's yeah. Tom, it is does need deep concentration mode. I'm glad you think it is cool to see. I didn't really describe the stitching in hand too much, but there you go. All right, let me work on loading these up, and then we'll do a little show and tell. Oh, just got another one. I see. I gotta remember exactly how I did this last time, because it wasn't too tough of a thing to do. It just took a minute. And where are we at ads wise? I think we're all right. What did I just download? I'm gonna go check what I've done so far. Got up to... Cool, okay. Nope, that's not helpful. Okay. I'm trying not to look too closely at anything yet, so I can be more responsive in the moment. But I will say, Joe, I see your needle, and yes, you can definitely get more dull of needles than that. So please go get a tapestry needle. That is so pointy and looked very painful. Oh, man. Oh, excuse me. I really am tired. Can I do... Okay, I'm going to, run the ad, like, 1 minute early so that I can get this set up while the ad plays. So we'll do that. All right, so, I will see you on the other side of the ads. Or if you're subscribed, I'll continue to see you. I mean, Joe, I didn't choose to. It was because I didn't have enough floss for the other one, so this is what happened. It's just what happened. Okay, and do that, and then I can add images. Not that. Oh, you can see things already. No, no, no. Go away. I don't want you to be able to see it yet. Save. Okay. Manual. That's what I want to happen. Cool. Spoilers, you're right. Yeah, close your eyes, meow. Yeah, Door, I think I got which one is yours, so no worries there. Let's see. I had this all set in the different scene last week. That's part of why this is coming up like that. Okay, so let's get rid of those. Yay, there we go. Can make it look even a little bit better. Nice. Fun. Okay, so let me match this all back up to... oh, okay, so this is from Melby. Wow. And there's actually two here. I think they're back to back, so we can see them. Two sides of the hat. That is so cool. I mean, that is a level of embroidery that I really have no idea how to do. But I love that, like, the plants are growing like that. Oh, the ad break is still happening. Okay, sorry. We'll just admire Melby's for a bit, and then we'll resume after the ads. I think most people watching are subscribed, but just in case. I don't want anyone to miss what they put in show and tell, because I forgot that there's an ad happening. Also, we got another one that I can add to the slideshow, so I'm gonna do that now. Add another little picture here. Which one is it? Where did it go? There it is. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. It's almost there. Rogan forgot to add their name. That's okay. You can let us know. Ads are over. Yay! Welcome to show and tell portion of the stream. We're looking at this amazing hat from Melby. I keep trying to use hotkeys that are not the correct hotkeys, but it's two sides. I'm assuming it's like one side of the other, right? It's like old hat going for moss and lichen vibes. I mean, you got it for sure. I just really like that they're all growing in different ways. You're using so many different kinds of stitches and knots there. It's very cool. All right, 8 o'clock, time for show and tell. Oh, Bellew, okay. Oh, some ducks napping on your walk. Okay, well, Melby, this was awesome. Wow, what a way to kick off show and tell. Thank you so much for sharing that. Our next one, we got Joe's Cats. So I'm assuming the one up top is the new one, and it's gonna be coming out of a bag, I think. We saw last week some comparison shots. But yeah, these mischievous cats. This will be fun to see your progress each time, just to see like what what the cats are getting up to each week as the pattern continues. Rogan has a gray clay skull with orange fungus growing out of the head, which reminds them of Melby's hat. That's cool. Cat's out of the bag. Well done. Well done. Very good. Okay. Love the cat update from Joe. Joe also sent in a picture of his needle, which was how I was able to be like, oh yeah, you got the wrong needle. Save your fingers. And this, I believe, is Door's puppet, because it does say the Audrey 2 main body with no features or mouth or pot, slowly trudging on. I mean, this is awesome, though. Like, I mean, I love Little Shop, and I have no idea how to make a puppet from crocheting things, but it looks like you're getting the structure there, really. I mean, I have no advice on how to help with the mouth that's been giving you trouble, but, like, the head is there. This is gonna be really cool. Oh, I can't wait to see as you get further along on this, but that is such a strong start. And very clean stitches, too. That looks great. Okay, and then this is... I do not know who this is from. Someone is relearning how to knit. Let me know in the chat if this one was yours. Congrats on relearning how to knit. I like the mossy color. Oh, that one's Rogan's. Yay. Okay, great. We got a lot of like good green colors in all of these tonight. What is this thing that's flying across my camera? There's some kind of dust or something in the air. But hey, I love how many people are getting back into crafts. That's it's so fun to see everyone getting back into doing things with our hands, you know? And yeah, I really like this green color. When I was trying to relearn how to crochet, I used a similar color to this, so it's bringing back some good vibes. Thank you for sharing, Rogan. Oh, and then is this Mikey's? Yeah, Mikey, you finished the cowl. This is a pattern by Is a Cowl, or Isa Cowl, but I like the idea that it's like, is a cowl. But wow, yeah, the edges look great. It almost has the appearance of like a really thick blanket stitch or something on the top and bottom. I think you said this was some kind of mosaic. And over the weekend, I was hanging out with someone who had stitched their own shawl. I guess it was a scarf, but it was a very big scarf and had a lot of very intricate knitting to it. And they used that word of the mosaic. And I recognized it looked similar to this sort of, I kept calling it like herringbone, even though it's not. But I was like, oh, Mikey from Twitch said mosaic, and then I knew. Oh yeah, Rogan, doing this kind of thing while watching TV. Reading, I can't do for cross-stitching. I think I've seen people read and knit at the same time, but it's so nice to have something to do with your hands while watching TV. I love it. A cowl, Mikey explained it to us before. I keep thinking it's like a scarf, but I think it's not quite like or I said it was like a hood and it's not. Neck tube scarf. Very warm, nice to pull up over your nose when it's windy. Thank you, Joe. Yeah, C-O-W-L. I'm assuming it's pronounced cowl, like howl. What Joe said. Dor might have figured out the mouth. Hey, congrats. I look forward to seeing that update next week or so. Like I said, I'm not sure if I'll do this every week, but it's very fun. I had a lot of fun last time, and I'm having fun this time too, so. And then this is from Sarah. Oh, this is the last graduation cap. The 10th one. And you got a blurry cat in the background too, nice. It was cool, we saw a bunch of the graduation caps last week. It'll be fun to see the confetti on all of them. Also, I like your Nerge hoop. I'm like so converted to the Nerge hoops myself. How are you liking them? Okay, so blue is the last color. For folks who haven't heard this project, Sarah's friend, is a kindergarten teacher, and for kindergarten graduation, each kid in the class is getting a little cross-stitch graduation cap, and they, without knowing why, they were asked their favorite colors, and so each cap is in their favorite color, and so it's very fun. Nerge gang, what's up? Yeah, I like the Nerge hoops. I'm converted. I only tried them like last October or something, and I like them. Burger hoops. Is that what you call? Oh, I thought I thought that was just what you jokingly call them, but that was a typo. We can call them burger hoops now. Get your burger hoops. You got the wooden hoops, you got the Q-snaps, and then you got burger hoops. Burger hoops. And then this is from Tom. Oh, Tom, this is great. Because I remember what you said you were working on, so you're gonna have the text in the middle that'll say like this too shall pass, but fucking win, or something like that. I love when phrases like that have the very ornate kind of frame around it. This looks like it's probably taken you a while too, right? That's a lot of stitches. So nicely done. It's looking great. I'm always partial to orangey colors, so I like it. Oh, that is the elegant phrase. Yes, thank you for correcting me there. Wow. I really like this one. That is not what I had pictured in my head when you said it earlier, so it's cool to see it. And just because we've been talking about it, what count of Aida cloth are you using there? Is that 14? It almost looks a little smaller. So thank you for sharing. And then, this one just came in. I don't know whose it is. Is it like a saber-toothed tiger? This sounds familiar as a project. Oh, somehow I just noticed that my slideshow is on top of everything else. Let's move this back a little bit. Oh, Debusa, thank you so much. Do you want to share a little bit more about the pattern? Is it a mascot from somewhere? It is 14 count. It looks smaller. It's hard to tell on pictures. Predator's hockey logo. That's why it looks familiar. That's awesome. How many stitches is that? It looks like a lot and probably took you a while. Sarah, have fun working out. Thank you for popping in and sharing with us tonight. That might have been the last one. Let's see here. Yes, that was the last one. Well, thank you, Debusa, and also let me know if I'm saying your username correctly. You made the pattern yourself. Wow. That's impressive and cool. Did you, like, put the logo into a program, or did you kind of, like, freehand it? Because that's very cool. Well, thank you all for sharing. Oh, PC Stitch. I tried Mac Stitch once. So PC Stitch is a program where you can turn images into patterns, or I think you can start patterns from scratch as well. That's really cool. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you to everyone who shared tonight. It's so fun to, like, put visuals to what you're describing in the chat and get to see what you're all working on, since you watch what I'm working on all night. So thanks, everyone. That's so fun. Wow, the moon is so bright right now. I think it's like the snow moon. February is the snow moon. It's beautiful. Everyone should go look at the moon if they can. I'm gonna start wrapping up, so I'm gonna check out who we might raid. Oh, someone, I've never clicked on this streamer, but there's someone who makes, like, book nooks, or that's what they've been doing recently. It looks like that's a VOD, though. It's like a rerun. I also haven't checked them out before, so might not do that. Let's see. What are people doing tonight? Oh. Excuse me. I'm so tired. Why am I so tired? Okay, I found a cross-stitcher. It says that they're doing other things. And it is an LGBT safe space. Cool. Oh, this is I think this might be a collab that's happening right now. I just saw another streamer that I know, like, pop up. Not that I know, just that I've, like, watched before. Pix Stitch? Does anyone watch Pix Stitch? I think is his username. Rogan, have a good night. Good night, Mikey. Good night, Door. Whoever's saying good night. Yeah, for those of you who are heading out, thank you for being here tonight. Sorry I was a little sleepy, but calm chaos. The calmest chaos that Sarah had ever seen. I hope you all have good nights. I hope you are able to poke at your projects a little bit more this week, and I look forward to seeing you another time. For the rest who do want to stick around for a raid, I might see about raiding this person. I don't know them. I haven't watched them before, but I'm kind of, the vibe seems pretty good. It's cross-stitching. Maybe with other streamers popping in? I'm unclear about that. Alright, so I'm gonna get that set up. I'll put their name here in case you get lost and you want to join, and also in case you're like, oh, I know that streamer. Oh, we should have a raid message if we want. How about just bird emojis or emotes? Any kind of bird emojis or emotes that you have. We'll just do a handful of those in your message. If you want to say something else, go for it, but we'll mostly just do some bird emojis, which I feel like I should personally get ready to go. I need to find the bird ones. Let's see. Yeah, let's find some birds. Burbs. Birds. I've never been super satisfied with the selection of birds on the normal emojis. I guess there's kind of more now. But yeah, I've always wanted... I don't know exactly what I want, but I want something different than what they look like. Oops. That's, yeah, I Paint Burbs has some pretty fantastic bird selections of emotes and such. I'm just clicking a bunch of birds. Okay, cool. I'll have that ready to go, hopefully, when we switch over. We'll see how that works. All right. Thank you all again for being here tonight. Bird emote goes here. That works. Oh, yeah. That's a good emote. That's a fun one. Okay, well, I'll see all of your bird emotes over in Sleeping Luna Designs stream in just a minute. Have a great week, everyone. Thank you again for being with me. Bye, everyone.